morning, folks. Kevin Dotson here. As you know, I'm one of your county commissioners at large. Of course, I'm also running for sheriff. But I just wanted to bring a little information to you, just some experience that I've had with inclement weather, working as a police officer for the last 15 years. And I think a lot of times we can be guilty of it ain't going to happen to me syndrome. As a society, I think a lot of times, we're guilty of thinking, well, it happens to those people, but it probably won't happen to me. Of course, we're talking about the imminent approach of the hurricane that's going to be coming to our coast in just a couple more days, and it looks like maybe, and that's a big maybe right now, maybe possibly that it could be turning somewhat south. But I expect we'll still, even if it does, we'll still be inundated with pretty good strong winds and a lot of water. And just a couple of notes I jotted down here, and of course, you can find this stuff out for yourself. You get online and look for hurricane preparedness and things like that. But just as a reminder, I'm looking around here in Lee County, and of course, every gas station that I go by, some of them are out of gas. And the trucks are trying to get back there as quick as they can to fill the tanks up so you can get your gas. And ideally, you do want a topped-off tank. Our business is real close to the BP here in Tramway, and I've seen them run out of gas. I've seen the truck pull up there and start filling the tanks back up, and people are just pulling in there again. So I don't know, maybe a good time to go get gas is get up about 3 o'clock in the morning, when nobody's out on the roads, and get your gas. So, you want to get your gas. You want to make sure you have plenty of supplies. You want to make sure that you have things that, honestly, that are not perishable, things that don't go bad easily. I want to get a generator at some point in time at my house. Hopefully, they're going to be bringing natural gas, and if they do, that'd be great. I'd love to invest in a generator, and that way when the power goes off, I still got power. It's something we certainly take for granted, but when we don't have it, a lot of times, that can seriously interrupt our lives, because these days, we're creatures of comfort, and we like to have those things in place. First aid kit, that's another thing that folks don't think about. Obviously major injuries, you probably gonna need to go to the hospital, doctor, what have you, but for minor injuries, do you have a simple first aid kit available? How about a battery-powered radio, or a radio that you crank for power, so you can stay up to date on news, things that could affect you? How about, of course, flashlights. You want to make sure you got plenty of batteries for your flashlights. Being a cop, like I say, 15 years, I got lots of flashlights. And honestly, most of them are rechargeable flashlights. They hold a really good charge, so I'm, of course, going to make sure those things have maximum charge in case we lose power. But you definitely want to have light. Light rules the night, as we used to say. And how about this? How about a whistle? Of course, I'm a firearms instructor, and I use a whistle a lot out on the range when I give the command to fire. But how about a whistle to get folks' attention, or maybe to summon help? A whistle, people can hear that a long ways off. So how about a whistle, something simple like that? You may want to make copies of important documents that you have. Make sure that you have some way to perhaps secure those documents. They make containers that you can buy that are waterproof. Pelican makes them, and sometimes they're not so cheap, but those documents that really mean a lot to you, they're worth protecting. Of course, we got a lot of our important documents. They're in a box at the bank, and we feel pretty comfortable about that. But you can have these Pelican boxes, around the house, and would protect them in the event that your house took on some serious flooding. And then your computers. Let's make sure that you have a backup system for your computer so you can back up important information as well. And then last thing I want to talk to you about, and this is something that honestly takes people's lives. It gets them killed. And this can easily happen. We don't have to be on the coast of North Carolina for this to happen, but this can easily happen. Did you know that just 6 inches of swift moving water can sweep you right off your feet? 6 inches. You really wouldn't think that, You wouldn't think that, but it can. It can. And then with your vehicle, 18 to 24 inches can sweep your vehicle off the highway. I know this is true. I mean, where we pull into our driveway at our house, we've got a ditch right down there at the bottom. It's sort of like a basin, you know, that's at the bottom of our driveway. And then that ditch holds a lot of water, but it won't hold so much, and then it runs over. There's been times in heavy downpours of rain that lasted for a while. I was a little skittish about pulling into my driveway or exiting my driveway because of the high water down there, and it looks deceiving. It looks like you can do it, but in fact it can be very dangerous. Of course, obviously, you know, the worst thing that will happen to my vehicle is going to be swept off into the ditch, you know, but my vehicle still could suffer some damage. Obviously, you know what I'm talking about is that you're going across a road, and in the road the water is high, and perhaps there's a waterway that's close to that road that could potentially sweep your vehicle into a river or into a pond or a lake. And listen, if it sweeps you into a river, you know, and that thing starts to roll or even turn over, you only have seconds to get out of that vehicle. Not a situation that I'd want to be in, or any of my loved ones, or anybody to be in. It's a dangerous situation. Just know that not very much water can sweep you off the road. It can sweep a vehicle off the road, which, you know, for vehicles, you know, like pickup trucks, four-wheel drives, perhaps maybe the margin's a little bit higher, maybe another 6 inches, but who wants to take a chance? There's no reason to take a chance like this. So don't take water lightly. Respect it, okay? Moving water, I mean, you can see, you know, in other countries where they've had inundated amounts of water, you know, where it causes landslides, it moves earth. You know, we've seen where property and vehicles, you know, are being moved down a highway, a river, okay? So respect the water. And then lastly, I just want to let you know, as a commissioner, we are attending an emergency meeting today of county commissioners. So if there's anything else to update, I'll be bringing another video to you as far as shelters and things like that, or anything that I think that might be pertinent and newsworthy that you need to know about. I'll do another video and let you know that as well. So we're meeting today, and after that, I'll perhaps be doing another video this afternoon. Shane Seagrose is Director of Emergency Operations Center, and you know, he's going to be giving us a briefing on the weather. And of course, like I said, we're watching it out here at our store 24/7. But you know, Shane and his staff, you know, has got that stuff down to a science. So they're going to brief us, and we may have to vote on, you know, giving authority to all the teams out there that need to do whatever they need to do to keep everybody safe. Okay, so let's just remember, you know, respect this thing. I don't know. You know, it's amazing the weather can change on a dime, but as last has been reported, it looks like it may potentially turn somewhat south. But then it's going to sort of stall out for maybe 2 even 3 days. They said this stuff could carry on even into Monday and even possibly some of Tuesday. So it's nothing to mess with. All right, so stay safe, guys, and I'll be probably bringing another video to you perhaps this afternoon or early this evening on our meeting that we're having today at the EOC. Stay safe.